Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Victoria, aka Vicky. And guys, from you see me, you know what time it is. It's that time again for another story time. So guys, before I get into my story, I just want to thank you guys for all the marvelous support you've been giving me. I thank you for all my new subscribers. I thank you all for liking up the videos, sharing the videos, and also commenting on my videos. Guys, I really appreciate it. So remember guys, remember to tell a friend of a friend about Victoria's reality corner. Tell them to come over and have a watch, and let's build this platform. So guys, let's get into the story. So guys, the last time I left off, I left off at we now as a family, we we've moved to the UK. We've moved to Jamaica. We've left the UK, moved to Jamaica, and we're adjusting now to new life. So you heard all the escapade that happened before that, and if for those who haven't who are not up to date with the videos, just go back over and just watch from the beginning, from story time one, and you'll catch up with the story. Okay guys, so yes, so now I'm at that stage where now we're settling now in Jamaica as a family. So as I told you before in the last video, I I remembered when I got enrolled into a school in Spanish Town, and we started to go to school. So from there now, things were just slowly falling into place. My dad had to be going back and forth trying to sort out his paperwork to kind of take up residence again in Jamaica, and also my mother, and at the same time trying to find an income for the family, because when my dad left the UK, unfortunately he wasn't ill, so now he's in a new country, in his own country, having to adjust to Jamaica lifestyle, and also to find a job where he can continue to support his family. And guys, that was not easy at all. So that's why, reflecting back on this story, I just thought that, certain things weren't put into place, certain aspects of what we were going to do in terms of income. My dad did not really think that through enough. But anyhow, we are resilient people and life goes on. So now I'm going to school, my siblings are going to school, and we are adjusting to Jamaica lifestyle. So weeks went by, and going to school, and meeting new people, forming new friendships with friends at school, and all that kind of thing going on. So I think at this time now, my dad, as I said, he had this red comma van. So he decided that he was gonna, at that time, I can remember the word that they called, when you transport people. He said he was going to run a robot. That's what they called it back then. So he was going to basically use his van to become like a transportation for people who goes from one place to the next. So it was basically like a taxi, or what we would call, I don't know the name they call it over there now, but I know back then they call it a robot. Funny name, guys. So my dad now was going to use his vehicle now to take people to the market, to from Spanish Town to Kingston, and that sort of thing. So basically like a taxi, and he had a seven-seater, so I guess it would bring in good income. So my dad started to do that, and that was going on for a while. And then as I said before, my dad took us to where he lived, where he was born, up in the hills, in this place called Top Mountain. And by this time word is getting around that Mr. Powell has come on with his family, and they're living in Spanish Town. He had relatives that were living in I think at the time it was Portmore, or not Portmore, what they call it. Can't remember the name they called that place, but it's over them sides. So my dad was just linking up with friends and family that he knew. So it came now down to maybe a couple months going to school in Spanish Town and living in Spanish Town, adjusting to Jamaica lifestyle. And guys, as I said before, it wasn't easy because it was like a culture shock for us. You know, the language was totally different. So when we spoke, no one understood us. And when they spoke to us, we didn't understand them. So it was like, you know, what they're saying, and they would like, where am I say? What she I say? Me not understand them. And we were like saying, oh, we don't understand them. So it was a lot of adjusting. So when it came down to the time, it came down to a time now where we started to pick up the dialect, the patois. And it would sound so funny. I can remember our cousins would say, like, tell us to say a word, and then we would say that word, and they would burst out laughing because they said, no, and I saw it go, and I saw it mean, and I saw it sound. But, you know, we were just like children, and we were just having fun with this new language. So, guys, we were now picking up the dialect and, you know, just adjusting to new life. So it came down to a point now, guys, where my dad now was having conversations with family from where he came from. And in this district called Kitson Town, there was like a school where my dad used to go as a boy, and my dad told a lot of stories about that school, you know, the famous teachers. And one teacher that came to mind, her name was Mrs. Thompson. She was a strict teacher. She was a teacher that everybody would fear because she was, you know, really like strict, really big on education, and you could not come out of her class and not know how to read, not know how to interact with others. She was like a dynamite teacher. Anyway, so my dad bragged and boast about that teacher. He bragged and boast about the principal of that school. And he decided sometime going along that he wanted to move up to that area. So I think they went out house hunting, because as I told you before, the house in Spanish Town was not really ideal. It was, number one, it was too small. The area wasn't very nice, and so it was just temporary. So now, guys, my dad now, he was going back and forth up to his district and, you know, finding out how he could attain a house up there. And up there was much cooler because it was in the hills. So just imagine, you know, Jamaica and you're on the flat. So Spanish Town was on the flat and it was really hot. And where my dad came from, it was on the hills, so it was really nice and cool. The only thing I didn't like about it, guys, was the red dirt. Oh my gosh, I hated the red dirt. But anyway, up there was nice and cool. There was a lot of rain. The greenery was just beautiful. So as time went on, my dad now heard about a property going in a scheme area, housing scheme area, and it was like near distance to the school that he could say, okay, if we got this property, then the children could go to that school. And it was Kitson Town All Age School. So my dad decided that that's where he wanted us to go. So I remember now one weekend we all piled up in dad's vehicle, and we went up to Kitson Town, to this area now where it was called Kitson Town Housing Scheme. So it came off the main, go up a hill and go down and go round, and we came to this area. And guys, I was like, wow, here looks really nice, because it was more residential. It has houses, the same type of houses on both sides of the street, you know, and you had like, it was just really nice. It looked like a rich area. So we drove down to the home, and I can remember this house now had I think someone was still living in it. So anyway, my dad had the opportunity to go in, view the yard, view the house, and I got to understand that it was up for sale, or it was going up for sale. So guys, at this point now, I believe my dad decided in his mind that he was gonna go for this house. So guys, yes, it's that time again where I've come to the end of this video. So if you want to hear the next section of this story, please guys, subscribe, not press the notification bell, that when I send out a video, you'll be notified, and you can be notified to come over and watch the next video.